I'm tackling this awkward door-window situation on the back side of my living room, as well as this set of 3 windows in the front of my living room. I will include the full window treatment makeover and my living room makeover reveal down the road, but for now I wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I made this DIY curtain rod and brackets. I will be using 2 72-inch long, 3/4 inch diameter dowel rods for each oversized curtain rod. The set of 3 windows in the front of my living room are 101 inches from edge to edge. I decided to make the curtain rod for this space 114 inches wide. That will give me 6.5 inches of curtain rod from the outside edge of each window. Since the dowel rods are only 72 inches long, I'm going to go ahead and cut them down to half the length that I need. So for this space, I'm marking them both at 57 inches. Then I held them up side by side to make sure that they are both marked the same length. I took my bandsaw and I lined it up with the pencil marking on my dowel rod and trimmed off the excess length. Then I did the same on my second piece. As you can see, I got a pretty clean cut, but I'm going to be joining these 2 pieces together, and I want the seam to be as flush and seamless as possible. So I'm taking my sandpaper and I'm just smoothing out the ends of both of these dowel rods where I trimmed them down. Next, I lined the 2 dowel rods up against each other to make sure that there's no gaps and that they fit well. To join the 2 dowel rods, I will be using wood glue, a straight edge, a pencil, drill bits, a drill, and 3/16 inch dowel screws. Now, I cannot stress this part enough. You want to make sure that you absolutely mark dead center on your dowel rod before drilling your pilot hole. When these are hung, the bracket will cover the seam, so you really won't see it, but they won't hang right if they are not lined up correctly. Next, I used a 1/8 inch drill bit to drill my pilot holes. As you can see, the bit is just slightly smaller than the screw that we'll be using. As you are drilling your pilot holes, try to hold your drill and your dowel rod as straight as possible. Next, I started to feed the screw into one side of the dowel rod. Once I had it secured into one, I grabbed the other dowel rod and twisted it just enough to secure the screw into that dowel rod. Then I added wood glue onto the thread on both sides of the screw and started to tighten the dowel rod more. Before closing it up completely, I added a little bit more wood glue and then tightened them until both dowel rods were touching. Make sure to wipe off any wood glue that squeezes out between the 2. I repeated these exact same steps to do the curtain rod for my back door and window area, only that curtain rod is 84 inches long, so I did 2 pieces that are 42 inches long each. I left these overnight so the wood glue would dry completely. I have a lot of walnut accents in my living room, so I picked up this Min Wax dark walnut stain as well as a pre-stain conditioning treatment. You want to make sure you apply the conditioner and stain in a well-ventilated area. I just used a little cheap paintbrush I had lying around to apply the stain evenly, starting from one end to the other. The directions say to let this sit for up to 15 minutes. By the time I was done applying the conditioner to the second curtain rod, it was time to start wiping off the first. Using a paper towel, I wiped off all of the excess conditioner. You want to apply your stain within 2 hours of wiping off your conditioner. After realizing I had used my last paintbrush to apply the conditioner, I hunted down a couple of foam brushes and used that to apply my stain. You want to let your stain sit for 5 to 15 minutes depending on how dark you would like your finish to be. I left mine on for the full 15 minutes. Then I grabbed a paper towel and very thoroughly wiped down both of these curtain rods. At this point, you can let them dry for 24 hours before applying a coat of polyurethane or polycrylic. While I set those aside to dry, I went inside and worked on my brackets. I picked up these 1.5-inch corner braces and these 1/2-inch one-hole straps. To attach these pieces, I used some screws and lock nut washers that I already had at home. I also used a Phillips head screwdriver and a ratchet with a socket that fits the lock nuts that I'm using. Lined up the one-hole strap on the underside of the L bracket and stuck the screw down through that top hole. I then took my lock nut washer and started to thread it on the screw. I used the ratchet to tighten down the lock nut. Then I used the Phillips head screwdriver to hold the screw tightly in place while using the ratchet to tighten the lock nut as tight as possible on the other end. If you wanted to go for a really industrial look, you could leave them like this. But my living room is more of a mid-century modern, so I took them outside and spray painted them gold. I ordered these white sheets off of Amazon and they averaged $5 per sheet, and that's what I'm using for my curtains. Out of all the ones I looked at, these had the best reviews. I searched high and low for affordable curtain rings with clips, and I found these that were only $12.99 for a 40-pack. This is what she does to the box that my sheets came in. She literally follows us when she sees us walking in with an Amazon package. I did some research and played around with it a little bit and concluded that spacing out the curtain rings every 5 inches was the best way to go. So I used my measuring tape and spaced out 5 inches between each clip. I have the sheet folded in half so I can put 2 clips on at a time. I decided I wanted my brackets to come a couple inches down from the ceiling and 2 inches over from the edge of the window. So I took a piece of foam board, cut it 2 inches wide, and marked a line where I wanted the top of the bracket to go. I used a drill bit to mark the spot on the wall where the screw would need to go, and then I drilled in a drywall anchor. Then I took my bracket and attached it using the screw into the drywall anchor. The anchor and screw in the top hole will support the weight, so the bottom hole only needs a regular screw to keep the bracket from spinning around. Then I repeat these steps on both of the windows that I'm hanging the curtain rods on. I also find the center point above both of these windows and hang a bracket there as well. Not only is the center bracket needed for the support of the weight, but it will also cover that seam where we joined the 2 dowel rods together. Since I didn't put any pleats in the sheet whenever I was clipping on the curtain rings, I'm going to hang them facing in alternate directions. The 5-inch spacing of the curtain rings, as well as hanging them facing in alternate directions, is what helped to give these curtains this almost pleated look. I also really like the way that they look relaxed but not messy. When I was looking at comparable curtain rods, I found this one that was also 84 inches at Bed Bath & Beyond for $159. And the larger 120-inch one was $219. I spent around $10 total for each of my oversized curtain rods, including the brackets. I also really love the color of the gold curtain rings that I got and how they look against that dark walnut finish of the curtain rods. I still have blinds to order and a lot of other projects to complete in the living room, but I will show you guys all of that in the future whenever I do my full living room reveal. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it. And if you can't wait to see the living room makeover, subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.